You mentioned the moon's light being a reflection of the sun. How do you explain the language in Genesis 1 verse 16 that says, "Then God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night"? The moon being a mere reflection of the sun seems to contradict the scripture. Am I incorrect?
Here's just a brief answer to your great question on the light and lights references in Genesis chapter 1. Notably, the same Hebrew word, as we might pronounce it, or, is used in verse 4 to speak of the very first thing that God creates, let there be light, as well as what we find down in verses 16 through 19, wherever that is, where he speaks about the creation on day 4 of the bodies that will give light, the greater to rule the day, the lesser to rule the night. Again, that same Hebrew word, or, is utilized in those places as well. In the cosmology of the ancient Christians, this was seen as the most natural thing, that light would represent both divine light that emanates from God, and it's one of the reasons why we see throughout the scriptures references to the fact that God is light, and even Jesus, "I am the light of the world." That was as much a claim to divinity as it is to what his word is, as a lamp to our feet and a light to our path. So for the ancients, light can emanate from God. It can also emanate, like from the sun, in a body created by God. But it also can indicate reflected light, as the reference I made to the reflection of sunlight from the surface of the moon. The ancient Christians understood that as well. So that whether we're talking about divine light, or light emanating from a created body, or light reflected from another source by another body, this is just part of Christian cosmology from the very beginning. So no contradiction was intended. It's just basically the way that Genesis 1